I'm starting out today by cutting out 10 shelves. I'm probably only going to use 3 in each cabinet, but it doesn't hurt to have an extra. What I did is I cut out 3 shelves for the 2 end cabinets and then 4 shelves for this middle one. This middle one is the one that's a little bit narrower. And there's a little bit of a problem with this cheap plywood that you can notice it kind of bends a little bit. Some of them do. Especially like on this one, you can see where it's basically, it's pre-sagging. And I could just put it in this way and hopefully gravity would kind of pull that down, but that's the bad side. Ultimately, since this is gonna be in the closet, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, and one thing I could do is cut some solid wood edging to go on the front and the back, and that would just kind of force it into place, but I don't think it's worth worrying about. So what I'm gonna do is just paint one edge. That'll be the front edge of the shelf, and then just one side. I don't really see any reason to paint the underside or the other 3 edges. All this extra paint is just gonna add to the overall patina of this workbench top. I have a feeling there's not gonna be much to this video, because I've got to put 2 coats of paint on all 10 of these shelves, and they're taking up so many surfaces in my shop that I don't know what else I can get done today. Maybe I'll just make this into a 2-day video. I guess you'll know by the time you see this what I decided. The other thing I've been giving some thought to is the closet rod and how that entire shelf with the rod is going to fit into the closet, because in order to anchor that on the 2 sides, it needs to have a good fit. And if it's a really tight fit, how am I going to get that whole thing in there? Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit. Oh, here's an idea. You guys want to do an AMA? Just ask me anything, and then I'll just have that on my next video. Or maybe not the next video. You know what I'll do is I could do that on Monday's video, because I've been wanting to do like a special 28 days later video. So that should be Monday, would be the 28 days later, I think, if I'm doing my calculations correctly. I've kind of lost track of all days. Yeah, let's do that. Ask me questions down in the comments of this video. Questions about woodworking or anything else. I don't care. Ask me anything, and then I'll go through my favorite ones and answer those all on Monday. I planned on using a wooden closet rod until I priced it and found out that it was $9 for one of those, and yet this adjustable metal one was only $15. So I thought, well, why not just get this? And I think this will work out a little bit easier, because this way I can put in 1/2 and then I can just expand it out to the size of the closet so I can get a good fit. I'm still gonna make the side brackets, but I think that the middle bracket, instead of having a hole going all the way through it, all I need is like a notch cut in that just to help support this, because even though it says this should be fine on its own, I don't trust all those clothes hanging on this thing. I just think it's gonna sag. The way this thing works is it's got this kind of expandable plastic piece there. So when you slide these 2 together, like that, and then you get it wherever you've got a good fit, and then you just tighten this one down, and that causes that plastic thing to expand, and then it's got this, it's just kind of really just more of a little decorative support cover, I think, than anything. So what I'm trying to think through is how I want to approach this, because this isn't going to be exactly in the center, but I don't think that's really going to matter. But I would like to have the center piece, to drop down like that. And I need that to be equal with the 2 side pieces. This end is going to require a larger hole than this end. It's really kind of funny though, because all this comes with to mount this is these little plastic drywall anchors and these rubber feet. I can't imagine that being strong enough to support 6 feet worth of clothes hanging on this thing. So I think putting some supports on the side and then one in the middle will definitely help this out. I've set up a stop block on my drill press so that I can position the center of each of these holes in the exact same spot. I want these two sides to mirror each other, and I want the good side facing out, so I'll need to drill this hole from the back side. This smaller diameter hole is a perfect fit, but this one over here is just a little too tight, so I can enlarge that hole just a little bit on my spindle sander. Yeah, it's getting cramped in here. Hey, just a quick reminder, this is one of the projects in my weekend workshop course, which is reopening permanently this coming Wednesday. I've set up my story stick along with this rod so I can determine where the center is. This line here represents the center. So this thing is not exactly in the middle. So I think what I'll do is that center piece, I'm gonna just move it over to about here, and then I can use this smaller diameter hole as the notch. I'll use my jigsaw to see if I can fashion kind of a hook. Something like that. Needs a little shaping. That'll work. As much as I'd like to, I don't think I can build this entire upper assembly with the shelf in place in my shop and then install it in the closet. I just don't think I'd be able to wedge it in there. So what I'm gonna have to do is mount these two side pieces, anchor them to the two side walls, and then I can cut the top out and drop it into place, and then I can attach this center hook to that. And by doing it that way, I won't even need to add the back like I was originally planning. I need to cut that upper shelf and the top of the cabinets to size. Man, there is a lot of painting involved in this project. I'm always really bad at estimating how much paint something is gonna need. And again, I just want to paint these visible edges on these pieces. That center one, I'm gonna have to paint both sides, even the crappy side. Well, it's Saturday afternoon and I still have another coat to put on this, and I gotta let that dry. So I think I'll just leave it off here for today. I'll go up and edit this video. And I gotta pull all that junk out of the closet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of that, but I'm trying to work up a strategy of like a sequence of events, how I need to approach taking things out and then putting things back in. Hey, don't forget to leave any questions you have down in the comments, and I'll get to those on the big 28 days later special on Monday. I'll see you guys later.